Good morning. Welcome back to M Hood Fishing, everybody. So we got that bit of water that we just walked to, and where we started is right over here where the bike is. So one of these is associated with the railroad and the other one is not. I can't remember which is which, but I have a feeling I was told that the first one we looked at is not associated with the railroad, that the first one is actually a part of the Lake Holbrook, and there's a culvert. But the old timer I was talking to about it, he's not 100% sure exactly where that culvert is. He told me about a black pipe that's just laying here. There's the black pipe. Oh, something thrashing bait. So there's also a black plastic pipe down there, just sticking up out of the water. This cove right here, we're really close to the dam, and we're really close to the beach, the swimming area. This cove here, I've caught fish before. That over there is on private property and really shallow. It has fish in it, but they're just little bass, like small. So it is a little after 8. I'm getting a bit of a late start. I woke up at 6 and I had stuff to do. The routine took a little longer to do. So here we are. Let's see if there's copper nose here. Let's see if we can get a big one, and then we'll move on. I will only be using artificials to target fish today. My local bait shop, Last Cast Bait and Tackle, is closed due to a family emergency, but will be open soon. However, I enjoy using artificials. We're going to go with this because it's shady over here still. The sun's not on the water. I caught a decent copper nose that I had for dinner last night with this. If you're confused as to what a copper nose is, it's a subspecies of bluegill. They get bigger faster. Yeah, that old timer, Larry, he told me that this was a good spot. He said there's a lot of handline fishing being done here. If I could just figure out where exactly that culvert is. Anyway, you may have recalled that I mentioned a railroad. Now, sometimes in these videos, you're gonna hear the train off in the distance, because this is the closest town. Mineola is a train town, has been for a long time. A lot of people, they think that that's the only tracks that have ever been here, the only line. That's not true. There were other lines, the other lines that came through here. Now, this lake opened for fishing in like 61, 62, something like that, early 60s. Before then, when there was no lake here, there was a rail line coming through this lake, coming through this, I guess we would say a valley, because there were creeks coming through here, right? There's 2 main creeks that come through. Keys comes through here too. Keys is the one that comes out the dam, but this is fed by a couple, 2 or 3 different creeks, right? And some drains, like that they're not proper creeks. They're just dry beds that when it rains real good, they got a bit of a trickle. And one of the creeks that feeds this is spring fed. So yeah, they had a rail line coming through here. trestles and all. And there was some other ones in the area that are no longer there. One of them got turned into a rail trail. If you get way down in, if you go way down that rail trail, you can get into the Sabine River bottom area, and the trestle, most of the trestle is still there, and some other train associated infrastructure. I'm going to give this little avocado chartreuse square bill crank a few more minutes and walk down here, because maybe the culvert's not where I thought it was. Down here is where I was seeing fish activity anyway, and to be honest, over the years when I've been here, it's down here where I was picking up fish. I think I've caught the copper nose here before, but I've definitely caught bass here on the occasion, and I am gonna do some bass fishing eventually. Maybe maybe this morning, maybe this evening, at some point today. Sure would be nice to get a little bit of breakfast, though. Anyhow, one thing I'll point out, if you can't see, or maybe you don't know, and you can see this bit of activity, these swirls out there, a lot of water bugs, more fish activity all of a sudden. Something broke the water there. There's a fish head right there. All right, so I think it might be here. As I've walked along and I look, this right here is kind of bowled out and a little deeper, and it's just notched out. So I think our culvert pipe is likely one or two of those of that size. I'm not even 100% sure if it's open. I mean, it could be junked up with a bunch of stuff, but right here, I'm getting a lot of followers with this little bait. They're little gills, or little perch, little panfish. See, I got a little guy coming. I got two of them like following it, and they'll nip at it. I wonder if there's anything big right out in front of here. This is not super deep. If we go down the way past where the bike is, you see the bike, there is a bit of a drop off right in front, like if we get to where the telephone pole and the tree are. Now that rail line was level, and when you look at a depth map of this lake, you can see the channels, and you're going to see a fairly straight long channel. That's where that train was. Oh, I just saw something big right out there. I put a cork, so I got that avocado chartreuse under a cork, and as I walk along here towards the pole and the tree, there are stumps, and I'm trying to fish around them. Ooh, I got a big bass. There's a big bass right there underneath my cork. Right here, big bass. First I saw 2 to 3 pounder, and then I saw 6 to 7 that were 2 or better. Man, if they're schooling up in here all of a sudden right now, screw the copper nose for the moment. Let's get one of them. So I got on my finesse rod a Speedworm green pumpkin weightless with 3/0. Sure, that will work. Ah! Wow. Instant break off. Dang it. Round 2. on the first drop. He smoked my bait too. Let's put the tape on this. We're gonna have to put the tape on it. It gotta be 14 inches. And he's just a little too shy of 14. You're a little shy, so it's your day. It's your lucky day. Thanks for playing, buddy. Have a great life. Eat you later. Fishing the underwater train spot. Yeah, you're right. That's what this video is about. Not a copper nose, but a bass, and not a keeper. And now the sun is starting to hit most of this spot. I still see some fish, but not as many as I did earlier. And I tell you what, some of you know this. I don't mind fishing with the sun in my face because that's more productive, but it's not good for filming. I like filming with the sun not in my face, not in the face of the camera anyway. But I most definitely don't like fishing with the sun behind me. And I don't feel like fishing in the sun any longer. I did keep fishing after that first fish and only fish. Not much action after that. So that means here we are. Thanks for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, supporting the channel, being a member of the channel. And yeah, you're right. I'll see y'all next time.